Hey, welcome to another episode of Adam Live. I'm excited to be doing this. I've been enjoying these. I've been getting a lot of good feedback. I'm going to continue to do these as long as I have great subject matter. And before I even get into the subject matter of today, I want to first say that this is awesome to do, but it also is better if I have some engagement. So please feel free to make comments as I go through this video. It might be a little lengthy today. If you need to tune out, that's fine. It'll be saved on my feed for later, so you can come back and watch it and hear all the tips I have to say about the wonderful subject called time management. Yes, the pesky thing that we all always say we don't have enough of. Well, it's kind of funny that we say that because even the best CEOs in the world, the richest people, and people that are super successful, they have the same amount of time in the day that we do. So what is it that they're doing that we're not doing, and what is it that we can do to basically mimic what they're doing? So today I'm actually going to talk about time management. So we're going to get into that here in just a minute. But before we start talking about time management, I want to read a little parable that I found online that I thought was kind of a cute little story about time and how we can waste it, or we waste it on the wrong things. So I'm going to read that little story to you right now. A professor stood before his class and had some items in front of him. When class began, wordlessly he picked up a large empty jar and proceeded to fill it with rocks right to the top, rocks about 2 inches in diameter. He then asked the students, "Is the jar full?" They agreed that it was. So the professor then picked up a box of pebbles and poured them into the jar. He shook the jar lightly. The pebbles, of course, rolled into the open areas between the rocks. The students laughed. He asked his students again if the jar was full. They agreed it is. The professor then picked up a box of sand and poured it into the jar. Of course, the sand filled up everything else. "Now," said the professor, "I want you to recognize that this jar is your life. The rocks are the important things: your family, your husband, your wife, your health, your children, anything that is so important to you that if it were lost, you would be nearly destroyed. The pebbles are the other things in life that matter, but on a smaller scale. The pebbles represent things like your job, house, or car. The sand is everything else, the small stuff. If you put the sand or the pebbles into the jar first, there is no room for the rocks. The same goes for your life. If you spend all your energy and your time on the small stuff, material things, you'll never have room for the things that are truly most important. Pay attention to the things that are important in your life and spend time on the important. Some of the importance are spending time with your family, spend time with your people, spend time for your customers, play with your children, take time to get medical checkups, take your partner out once a while, take time to renew yourself, find time for maintenance, and spend time on preventing that, then on solving problems. Take care of the rocks first, the things that really matter. Set your priorities. The rest is just pebbles and sand." I think that's a great parable. I think we spend a lot of time getting in and spending so much time focusing on the sand and the small little pebbles that we forget the big rocks in our life, which is our anchors, our family, our friends, our relationships. So one of the things that I've been learning and going through this whole process is in time management. And last week I talked about decluttering. And I think this kind of goes right in hand with that, is managing time. Once you get rid of material things, you find yourself having more time. So one of the things that I've noticed is by doing that, I'm having more time for my family. I'm able to structure things better. So today we're going to talk about time management. Great story. Now I want to talk about an interview that Laura Vanderkam had. She wrote a report where she interviewed a lot of CEOs, and those CEOs were talking about time management and things that they did differently than probably what we do on a regular basis. And we might do some of these things every once in a while, but these are things that they did to actually, over a long period of time, that led them to success because they were able to categorize everything and move forward, focusing on every little thing throughout their day. So one of the things that she found out that the biggest thing they always said was do a time log. It seems very basic, but it's a very easy thing to do. And basically they would start with the same question is, what else could I do with that hour? So ask yourself the question, what else can I do with this hour that I have? Can I watch TV, or can I make a phone call, or can I build a relationship? Here's one study of a year-long weight loss program published in the Journal of the Academy of Nutrition and Diuretics in 2012 found that women who kept a food journal lost about 6 pounds more than those who did not. Writing down what you eat keeps you accountable for what you put in your mouth. Likewise, writing down how you spend your time keeps you accountable for the hours that pass, whether or not you're conscious of them. So write down what you're doing during the day. Number 2 was plan the whole week. In a study of CEOs, what correlated with an increase in sales? How much time they had, but how much time had been planned out. They're very good at planning their day. They not before they plan out what they're going to do every hour. They spend time focusing on that, and that way, and when the next day comes, they're not wasting their time trying to figure out what they're doing next. They're rolling on to the next thing. Number 3, morning rituals are for the things that don't have to happen. I know with me, my ritual in the morning is a lot of times praying, reading my Bible, and exercise. Those are things that if I don't do in the morning, it's really hard for me to squeeze in later. So that's a lot of things that the successful people do is they plan mainly exercise and stuff they normally put off that they don't get done. They do it in the morning before they go to work. Number 4, yes, you even need to plan the weekend. They were very strict on basically making sure people understood that you need to plan what you're going to do on the weekend. Don't just let weekend happen. I'm off. I'm going to sit around the house and do nothing. They were very proactive in planning their weekend. They wanted stuff to do with their families. They wanted to be with them. Number 5, how to conquer the Sunday night blues. I thought this was a great tip. I know I'm guilty of this. On Sunday night, you begin to process what's going to happen on Monday, and you forget that Sunday night is still there, and you're planning Monday and you're getting stressed out thinking about all the stuff you need to do the following day. So one of the things that they kind of encouraged was, you know the weekend is over, and tomorrow it's back to work. Instead of being filled with dread, plan something awesome for Sunday night. Either be with your family, movie night, whatever. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate, but just something fun that you have something to look forward to all day Sunday. So when Sunday evening comes around, you're not worried about Monday. Your mind is on that evening. We typically have movie nights and things like that with our kids on Sunday nights. It seems to work great for that. Now let's talk about things that I have been doing to help manage my time a little bit better. We had a meeting with one of our, Century 21, Jane Polovjek. She comes in and trains all of us agents every once in a while, once a month. And one of the things she's been working with me on is time management and skills and basically time blocking. So I'm going to kind of walk you through some of the steps that she's been walking me through and things that I've been doing to kind of make it even better and easier for me to do. So the step 1 that she recommended was list out all of your daily responsibilities. So everything in a day that you have to do, either it's family, work, doctor's appointments, whatever it is, phone calls you need to make. Basically list out every responsibility that you have to do. Make a list of them and figure out what those things are, right? Every day. Step 2 is find some kind of calendar that you can print out that has the day broken down into hours. So you have a sheet kind of in front of you. This is kind of what I've been using. I'll get into what all these colors and stuff are here in just a minute. But basically you have the hours broken out over here and you have your time slots over here. So something like that you can write on. I know most of you all probably use technology to do that. That's okay. You can take this as more of a visual thing and then maybe later put it into your iPhone and tablets and things. Step 3, you want to pick a different color highlighter for each daily responsibility that you have. So this is kind of how my color chart works is all the orange is all my time off. That's the time that I'm spending either doing things for myself or with my family. So I got exercise and prayer here in the morning, and then I got lunch with the family here, and time off with the kids and the wife, and date night and things like that. So I kind of use orange for that. Blue is my alternate jobs. I'm either doing some recruiting for Century 21, Station 211 stuff, whatever kind of goes into that slot. The green is where I spend my time actively prospecting for real estate clients. Things like that, and the pink is when I'm actually in the office at Century 21 doing some paperwork, getting caught up on things like that, returning phone calls. So that's kind of what I do. Step 4, you begin to time block using the color highlighters. So basically you know your responsibilities now. Take the same sheet and basically begin to just don't put in the details about what you're doing. Just time block those days. And I usually begin with just highlighting blocks of time that I know I want to work on those things. I don't write in on my schedule yet. I just time block it. So that way I know what I'm going to be doing when I need to do it, and I'm not worried about it until I get to that time of the day. So that's the next step. Add that. Now for the next week, you want to then add your appointments into there. Anything you've got going into these time slots. So, I got my exercise and prayer here. I've got what I need to be doing on these days. I've got my listing appointments and showings I need to be going on. I got my prospecting that I need to be doing. I've laid it all out now in detail inside of the highlighted blocks. So now during the day, I'm not worried about it. I know what I'm supposed to be doing and when I'm supposed to be doing it. So I'm good to go. And then once you get that done, you can take it into your iPhone and things like that and then begin to add it in there, and you can color code things as well. I've done that on my phone and iPad. I just use this as more of a visual thing to get started, and then I end up importing it all into my phone, and I'm setting reminders and things like that. I'm not worried about my meetings and stuff. I'm not trying to remember, when am I supposed to be there or that. I am literally got it in my phone. Reminders are set. I know when I'm getting in there. So that's great to have. Now, another way you could do this, if you wanted to, is to kind of see how you're wasting your time, is you can do the same steps, but instead of laying out your responsibilities and actually planning out your week now, you can actually go back and just fill this in on a daily basis for a week. So print these out, and then like at the end of the day of every day, you time block and use your highlighter to find out how scattered you were during the day of each different responsibility and see what your day was like. And you might get a better picture about what you need to do as far as time blocking goes, as well as kind of see where you're wasting time. So that's a little project maybe you want to do. I don't know. I would hate to see some of the ways I waste time, but obviously that's knowledge it would be good to have. Now, another tip that actually I got from Jill Napier, I made a post on my Facebook page asking for time management tips. And Jill Napier had a great one that I want to add to this. Jill, thank you so much for this. Is at the end of the day, make a to-do list. Because there's always those pressing items that you have to do. And now that you've time blocked on your calendar things that where you know you need to put things, making that to-do list in the evening is a great idea. But I would say I would limit it to 5 things. I wouldn't put a bunch of things on there, because the goal is at the end of the day you want to say, okay, I got these things done. If you put 20 items on there, there's no way you can get all those items done. So I would pick the top 5 things, maybe a little more or less, but focus on 5 to-do things that have to be done that day, and do those. And then the next day you've planned your whole day out. You're not sitting here worried about when you need to be doing something. You know which time slot it needs to go in. You're good to go. So that's one of the things I would definitely focus on doing. And Jill, again, I thank you for that tip. That was great. And now all I've got left now is a quote of the day. It is by Alan Lycan. And it's pretty easy, but it definitely sums up what time management is all about. Time equals life. Therefore, waste your time and waste your life. Or master your time and master your life. So I thought that was a really good little quote to kind of end this on. Feel free to make comments, share this video, and as always, please subscribe to Adam Live on Facebook. I'm also uploading these to YouTube, so please check me out over there as well. And in parting, I would like to play a little rap that I found on YouTube about time management. Hopefully you can hear it. And also next week, I'm going to be talking about happiness. So I know it's kind of a fun subject. What is true happiness? I've been reading a great book called The Happiness Advantage. I kind of want to bring some of that to the table and let you guys hear that. You might find it very entertaining. I don't know. But I've found the book highly enlightening as far as what true happiness is. But that'll be next Wednesday at 2 o'clock. So be sure to come back and check that out again. And in parting, here is a music video, or not video, but song or rap for time management. It's kind of fun. You can manage your time, you can handle your life. If you're wasting your time, you're wasting your life. With some order, you can move things forward. It just takes a little bit of your work. All you need, the books you read. Push, succeed, you must believe you will achieve. And All right, that's it for today at Adam Live. I'll see you next Wednesday at 2 p.m. We'll talk about happiness. See you then. Thanks for tuning in.